Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all. Now in this video, we're going to be actually going in depth on the latest patch notes for the Season 12 update that just recently released. And while the patch notes themselves are honestly not super long, they are a little wordy, so we're going to kind of break them down and talk about the individual elements that actually make this a really important update. So especially if you are on Xbox, make sure that you stick around for the rest of the video because there are some Xbox specific fixes that actually pertain directly to y'all in the Xbox community. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And also, just so y'all are completely clear, I'm going to be reading all of these off from the developer's official post on the SnowRunner forums, and if you want to read these patch notes yourselves, there will of course be a link in the description box down below. So rest assured, these are all officially confirmed by the developers because once again, the developers were the ones that released them. And it's also important to note that if you are on a Nintendo Switch, this update will not be available until a little later, although the developers did not state how much longer a little later would actually be. So do keep in mind that crossplay on Switch will not be available until this update is released for the Switch as well, as it is already, as you are watching this video, or rather if you're watching this video shortly after it was posted, that update will be available on everything else besides Switch. So Switch players, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to be a little patient. And the first fix I want to talk about is how they have fixed multiple crashes on Xbox platforms. Now, the developers have been fully aware of the crashing issues on Xbox platforms. However, a lot of players have felt sort of left out of the loop because they either haven't heard much about Xbox fixes, or some players have actually stated that they feel as though the developers are ignoring their concerns. Now, I'm not sure if that's just coming from a place of being frustrated that their game doesn't work properly, which is totally valid and understandable, because at the end of the day, of course, you want your game to work. And if your game doesn't work, you're gonna have a lot of players that are genuinely upset because, after all, they bought a game and they want it to work. Imagine that. Now, the developers did not specifically list which crashes or crash scenarios they fixed for the Xbox version of the game. However, Xbox players, please comment below and let me know if you have seen an improvement in overall stability and game performance. So as far as that goes, once again, please let me know in the comments down below if you are specifically an Xbox user on really any Xbox platform and have downloaded the update and have played around with it, spent some time with it, and have noticed a genuine change. And I'm really interested to know the results because after looking through several of SnowRunner's different social media channels and looking at their comments, some Xbox users have said that their games are running so much better, and a bunch of their crashes are gone. And then there's other people that have said they experienced no change and they still have terrible game performance, and they also say that none of their crashes are gone. So it seems very split, and I honestly don't really know where that split is coming from. I wonder if there are people that are enjoying better performance on some of the newer systems, but maybe some of the people on an older Xbox are experiencing worse performance. So I, of course, don't know those for a fact, but I would love to know from my own community in the comments below, so please chime in if you have any experience with this patch on Xbox. So now that we've gone over that, and we've talked a little bit about the Xbox fixes, let's dive into some of the more specific fixes that are listed in this patch. So the first one that we're going to go over is they fixed a bug where some trucks disappeared from the truck storage on the accounts without having purchased the Jack of all trades tire pack. Then they also fixed a bug where the quantity of the stock tires increased when changing the tires from the Jack of all trades tire pack without money compensation, which that is just a very odd sentence in general. They also say they fixed a bug where any truck disappeared in the garage after installing it with tires from the Jack of all trades tire pack, which that is, again, a very odd glitch. And I find it super strange that a truck would just, it's like, oh, you want to put these DLC tires on your truck? Well, too bad. Your truck is just gone now. Now, I've never experienced that glitch directly or personally. However, if you have experienced that glitch or rather been, I guess in the receiving scenario of that glitch, I can imagine how that would be extremely frustrating. So I'm really glad to see that getting fixed. So on to the next one now. Let's see what the next one is. The next one is they fixed a bug where the random complete disappearance of engine sounds during gameplay on PS5 would occur, which I've actually seen some people in my own comments talking about issues of game sound, or rather engine sounds, just disappearing entirely. So it's really good to see that fixed. And then next, they also say they fixed a bug where the green check mark was not displayed in the regional progress tab after completing the It's All Connected 1 contract in the global map menu. And honestly, so far, I'm really impressed with these fixes. However, as usual, I do want to hear from y'all in the comments down below to please let me know if these fixes have worked for you on whatever system you so happen to be on. And of course, moving on into more system-specific fixes, let's talk about the one that actually was for Mac OS. Now, I'm not really all that certain that the SnowRunner player base on Mac is all that large. However, I'm really glad to see that they are still putting in attention and effort into making sure that that version also runs well. And what they did was, they say they fixed a bug where, or rather with losing the progress after starting the game after North Carolina update on Mac OS. Next up, they say they fixed a bug where the garage slot for the FEM37AT remained locked in the truck store even though it was unlocked in the game. And next up, we have a fix for a bug where the truck would actually freeze with the prototype exploration unit trailer after it was delivered and packaged at the Bad Connection contract. And then once again, they say they fixed multiple crashes on Xbox and also had various localization fixes across all platforms. And that is honestly pretty much where the fixes ended. And now we get to go over my thoughts about this update, or rather this patch. I keep calling it an update, but I feel like I should pretty much refer to it exclusively as a patch, because I feel like when you say update, a lot of people think that that kind of means content, whereas patch usually means more along the lines of fixes rather than added content. So we're going to be referring to it as a patch. Now, as we all know, the saga of SnowRunner on Xbox having tremendous issues has kind of gotten a little long. At this point, it's a very long saga. It's a very heavily documented saga, of course, in the community as well. And I'm really hoping that this patch, while it is probably not going to fix all of the Xbox issues, I'm honestly really hoping that it fixes most of them, because if it even fixes a few of them, it's honestly going to put the game in a better place than it ever was. Well, maybe not necessarily in a better place than it ever was, but in a better place than it has been for quite a while now, because the Xbox players, oh my god, they have been trying to bring this stuff to the developers' attention for so long, and I feel like either the development team has been stretched really thin, or it may not have been the utmost priority for a while. And while that is also a little bit sad, especially if it wasn't the utmost priority for a while, I'm really glad that the Xbox community is actually getting some attention as far as these patches and updates go. My only worry is if the Xbox community feels like they've been left out for so long that I wonder if some of them have just kind of put the game down entirely. However, if you have put the game down, especially if you have put the game down for quite a while, I would love to know if these fixes to Xbox would be enough to bring you back into it and be enough to, honestly, kind of persuade you to give it another shot. But either way, if y'all enjoyed this video, please do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And if you would like to see more, make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on. And I will see y'all next time.